Yo, yo, yo! What's up, y'all? Been a long time, Champ here in Champ's Corner. I was debating this year whether or not I should even do this. It was kind of like, haters and stuff like that. And I decided, you know what, screw it. I enjoy doing it. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Nobody cares, like Sonny says. So what I want to do is I'm going to let you know I'm not going to be as PC as I have been before. I don't think this is ever going to lead anywhere for me. So I'm just going to have fun doing it. The ones that do enjoy it, I appreciate you. The ones that don't, kick rocks, could care less. So I'm going to start by doing my division winners for the season. My division freaking picks. Who's going to win the division for each one. So I'm going to start with the NFC North, which is and bear with me a little bit. First taking a long time, so if I stutter a little bit, just deal with it, okay? So I'm gonna start with the NFC North. I got some notes here. Like I said, this is last minute. Wasn't even gonna do it, but anyway, I'm gonna go with the Packers. The Bears defense was really strong last year. They look good, but if it's a quarterback-driven game, and if you're giving me a choice between Aaron Rodgers, who everyone who knows me knows I think he's the best that's ever played the game, talent-wise, and Mitch Trubisky, I'm rolling with Aaron, okay? Aaron's numbers weren't Aaron's numbers last year. He still had 4,442 yards passing, 25 touchdowns, but only 2 interceptions. And he played about half the season with that doinked-up knee. Now he's got a real running game this time. Aaron Jones only had 728 yards last year, but he averaged 5.5 yards a carry and had 8 touchdowns. So I'm rolling with the Pack to win the NFC North. I'm going to go down to the NFC South now, and I'm going to stick with the Saints. I picked them last year. They won it. I think they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. When you got Breeze, Kamara, and Michael Thomas, that defense is stronger. Like I said, they'll have a chip on their shoulder because of what happened in the NFC Championship, which you can't blame all of that on the one call, though. They gave up a 13-point lead in that house, and they don't usually do that. But I'm still rolling with the Saints in the South, NFC South. NFC North, NFC West. My man, mystery text message guy. You were texting me last week. You said keep it respectful. I'm going to keep it respectful, bro. But you need to show your face. I think everybody's getting tired of this little game you're playing. You know what I mean? I got a PS4 for games. I don't need that, homie. But I will tell you this. I'm going with your Rams again in the West. Jared Goff just signed that giant contract. Most guaranteed money ever. And you know what I liked about the whole Goff contract? Not a word came out of Los Angeles from that. Not a word. He plays the game. He missed a few throws in the Super Bowl that could have won them the game, but he's a young kid. He plays the game. He could pass for Ryan Gosling anywhere he wants to go. That's what I love about Jared Goff and the way the Rams handled that whole situation. Which brings me to Cowboys. I can't stand Ezekiel Elliott. Everybody knows me. The only time I root for the Cowboys is when they play the Patriots. Burris, Chris Whoops, all my other Cowboy homies out there. I'm just going to let you know I'm picking them to win the division. And on top of that, it'll be the first time that anybody's won the NFC East back-to-back years since 2003-2004, which was the Eagles. I'm not rolling with the Eagles, and here's the main reason why. Carson Wentz can't stay on the field. Great talent, everything. Has he even played one full season? I'm not sure. So he can't stay on the field. Plus, you got to look. The Cowboys' first 3 games are the Giants, the Redskins, and the Dolphins. They're starting out 3-0. There's no way they're losing any of those games, especially now that the little crybaby Zeke is back. Little whiner. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and say the wild card teams for the NFC this year. I'm going to roll with the Seahawks. Picking up one wild card spot. I think the addition of Jadeveon Clowney on that defense is a way to roll, and I think you're looking at least 8 sacks right there, possibly 10. So that's a great addition with Bobby Wagner, who a lot of people recognize the best middle linebacker in the game. And then the second one I'm going to roll with the Vikings on the second wild card there in the NFC. I don't necessarily trust Kirk Cousins in big games, but the guy throws for 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns every year. Last year he had over 4,000, 30 touchdowns, only 10 picks. But I'm going to roll with him because defense more than anything. Plus, they probably have the best set of receivers in the game between Stephon and Thielen. So those are the two wild cards for the NFC. Now move on to the AFC. Rolling with the Chiefs in the West again. I'm going to roll with the Chiefs. They got that young kid. And the signing of LaShawn McCoy, who's been in Andy Reid's system before, is huge. I think that's going to make, with the loss of Kareem Hunt, I think McCoy's going to pick up where he left off. I know he didn't have good years in Buffalo, but he was in Buffalo. So, I think the Chiefs are going to go ahead and win that division again. In the South, I had the Colts going because that defense was so good, but Andrew Luck's retirement changed my mind. I'm going to roll with the Texans. Even though they lost Clowney, they still got possibly the best defensive player in the league in J.J. Watt, and they got Deshaun Watson. The loss of Lamar Miller isn't good, but I think they're going to be okay. And with the trade for Laramie Tunzel, because Deshaun was sacked 62 times last year. They can't do that. They got to protect Deshaun Watson. So I'm going there in the South. In the North, as much as I don't want to admit it, Mr. Michael Thompson, I'm rolling with the Steelers. Connor proved himself last year that he's definitely an NFL running back and can definitely carry the load. The question I have is Juju Smith-Schuster. Now that he's the number one and Antonio Brown isn't taking up coverages, is he going to be able to perform as a number one? So, but I'm still going to roll with the Steelers. They amped up on defense. They got Devin Bush out of Michigan. He fits right in, replacing Ryan Shazier. So Steelers there. As far as the Browns go, I can't put faith in the Browns. They're a young team. On paper, maybe the best team in the league. On paper, Odell, Landry, Myles Garrett, my boy Baker. Everybody knows I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. Nick Chubb at running back, But on paper, it's great. But they're a young unit. They're a young squad. And I don't trust Odell Beckham Jr., man. He's only played one full season his whole career. He gets injured, and he just if things aren't going his way, he acts like a little girl. So, I can't go with the Browns as much as I wanted to. I'm rolling with the Steelers in that division. So the the AFC East doesn't need to be said. Doesn't really. As long as Tom and Bill are there with the other teams, Bills, Dolphins, and Jets in that division, come on. Really? Doesn't even need to be said. We know they're going to win that division. But my two wildcard teams in the AFC, I'm going to go with the Ravens because I don't like that they lost C.J. Mosley, Roll Tide, but I do love that they added Mark Ingram, Roll Tide, and I like that they added Earl Thomas as well at safety. So I'm going to roll with the Ravens, and I like what Lamar Jackson brings. I'm hoping he can, throw the ball a little better because I do like the Ravens. But I'm going to roll the Ravens for one wild card, and my second wild card in the AFC is going to be the Jags. I'm rolling with the Jags. I think they're going to recover from last year's debacle of a season. They've got Nick Foles now, and I said it the day of the Super Bowl when they beat the Patriots. I said it like Bruce Wayne said in The Dark Knight. I believe in Nick Foles. And he pulled it off against the Patriots. And a lot of people thought I was crazy for saying that. I believe in Foles. That defense is studly. Leonard Fournette, if he can stay healthy. So I'm going the Jags as the other wild card team in the AFC. All right, here's my one thing that I want to talk about real quick is the Packers getting off to a good start. The Packers' first 5 games, they have the Bears, the Vikings, the Broncos, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. 3 of those teams, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Cowboys, were all top 10 defenses last year. And all 5 of those teams have great outside rushers. Especially the Broncos. Miller on one side and Bradley Chubb on the other side, the second-year player. So it's going to be a tough task, but I honestly think the Packers are going to start 3-2. Moving on to that, I'm going to say tonight I am going to roll with Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to roll with the Pack. They got a better defense than they had last year. Aaron Rodgers is healthy. I like Aaron Jones. I'm going to say Packers 24-20 over the Bears. Like I said, quarterback-driven league. I am taking Aaron Rodgers over Mitchell Trubisky, every day of the week and twice on Sunday especially. Now I want to make one bold prediction for this year. As far as I know, no player in the history of the NFL has ever thrown for 40 plus touchdowns or 5,000 yards in back to back seasons. I'm going to say that Patrick Mahomes is going to do that this year. 40 plus, 5,000 plus. So that's a bold prediction from me. And then I'm going to go ahead and make my preseason Super Bowl pick. It's probably a long shot. It's probably way out there. But I think it's something that we all have been wanting to see for a long time. Who doesn't want to see Aaron freaking Rodgers versus Tom freaking Brady? The best talent at the quarterback position ever against what most people call the GOAT. I don't think he's the GOAT. I think he's the most accomplished quarterback of all time. But I don't think he's the GOAT. And I got the Packers upsetting the Patriots in Super Bowl 54. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like I said, if you don't like it, I could care less. Peace and hair grease. Yay, yay!